Hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about topics that are affecting the nation. But hello, Wolagalo, right? Greetings and much love to you guys. And we are here again.
Yes, we are back.
You're not dreaming. We're here.
We are back.
So discuss at the end. We are here to discuss this lengthy letter that we are going to have to look at as we go and discuss it with you. You know? Yeah. Nanzindaba. We have a letter that was written by Prof. Haas to Sharmila Batoyi. Yes. I mean, it has been quiet as far as I'm concerned when it comes to Sharmila Batoyi taking or having a bit of accountability as far as this case is concerned. Insofar as this case is concerned, well, yes, we have people who are not afraid, which they can approach and they can write letters. And I guess it's levels. I mean, for us, it's in a public platform. Then we saw this chance to actually now talk about it. Maybe there were things that are addressed there that once in a while we also feel like, oh, maybe this is the case, maybe. But other people are not bushing around. No. They are just straightforward, I guess. Different strokes, different
direct.
And it suits them. And again, I mean, levels, different protections, yes, and everything, I guess.
Yes.
Right. Now, once it comes to the public platform, then we need to discuss it. But before we do that, please press that like button, like you mean it. Thank you very much for this gift. I see it before I even go any further. Thank you, Lindy. We also saw you on that premiere. Thank you very much. We appreciate
General
you.
Mkwanazi. Thank you guys for watching.
Yes, guys.
You know, when we deviate away from the case, it's always very cold. It's cold outside. So
we appreciate it that now and then people are warming up to other topics that are affecting our people. So
very happy.
It's about case 375.
Yes.
Questions are being asked.
Yes.
What criteria? How was it chosen? Which are very interesting questions. I mean, believe in you me, if I was that brave, I would have asked that questions. I mean, we have been asking it here in the public platform, not that it's a big platform. But then there are people then who would go deeper and direct it to the rightful people, not speak and wriggle, not speak bushing around the corner. It is what it is, guys. Greetings again. And much love to you guys. We love you. We hope that these nice, interesting topics will keep on coming. Emily, it's a long journey. I would like to believe about this letter. So I'm not going to waste much time. I'm just going to go and give it to you. Take it away from me. I will stop you where I can.
Guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. We really missed you and we are getting back to regular programming.
We're getting a rhythm.
Yes.
We're again learning how to stand.
Yeah, again, after the long break. So thank you guys for your unending support and encouragement. We highly appreciate it over here at Mzansi Reality. Yes, your contribution means a hell of a lot.
A lot.
So yes, guys, and also a shout out to whistleblower Patricia Mashale. Also a shout out to the person who sent the letter. You sent us the letter. I can't quite remember.
Yes. There's someone who think he got it from Patricia.
Yeah, they got it from Patricia
page, and then he sent it to us.
So
we had to go and verify because these things are difficult to talk about.
Yes, we're not aware of the letter to that extent. But then thank you so much for sharing it. After I read the letter, I saw why. one of our family members
decided to send it to us.
Oh, once I saw that letter, you guys, hey, Professor Haas wrote an explosive letter to Sharmila Batoyi, the National Director of Public Prosecutions of the National Prosecuting Authority, the NPA of South Africa, addressing the 375 of the docket 375 of Senzo Meyiwa trial. Now, Sharmila Batoyi is, one would say, a superior to Advocate Baloyi right now, if I were to keep it brief. Yes, she is holding the whole NPA, prosecutors of the country. Yes, she's responsible. She's the boss. So this letter was dated the 13th of January 2025. It was on Monday this week. And it was addressed to the Office of the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Sharmila Batoyi, and it was via an email. Now, the heading in itself, it said, "Lives at risk by your failure to investigate alleged defeating of the ends of justice in Senzo Meyiwa murder-related matters as per my letter to you, dated the 18th of September 2023. We did cover this letter, the one from 18th of September 2023 on the channel. If you scroll down a bit, where we were talking about Warrant Officer Mako. She has written a letter before addressing the safety element of Warrant Officer Mako. Warrant Officer Mako is the investigating officer who testified in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. And also you guys would know that he's not, one would say, a witness that the state is happy about or happy to have in that courtroom. In our observation, of course, he came to testify, and also Advocate Mgomezulu, before he passed on, he had communicated that he would be coming back to testify in the main trial. He testified in the trial within a trial, and we also heard the reception was when he was testifying in the court. And we also saw with how Brigadier Gininda has been addressing some of the allegations that were put to him coming from this docket 375 that was, of course, put together by Warrant Officer Mako as well as Colonel Joyce Buthelezi. So the relationship dynamics there already, there's a lot of tension. But this letter, honestly, it gave us a lot more information that we were always having a feeling that something towards this is happening, provided that cold reception that Warrant Officer Mako received as a witness. Okay, and the letter, it was dated the 18th of September 2023. This is the initial letter where she was addressing the safety of Warrant Officer Mako. I even remember around the time Senzo Meyiwa had done a video and it was circulating online. He was also very concerned about Warrant Officer Mako. So from 2023, now we're on 2025. Warrant Officer Mako's life has been in danger, according to this information that we're receiving for Professor Haas as well as Senzo Meyiwa at the time, 2023. So his life has honestly been in danger ever since he got involved with the Senzo Meyiwa trial. And people that are fighting for him in this matter and fighting for his safety and the safety perhaps of his family are not backing down. And I'm personally grateful for this letter. So it says in our recent correspondence, the first paragraph, it's written, "We thank you," or "Thank you for your letter of the 29th of November 2023. So with me speculating here, I'm going to say that after she wrote that first letter in September of 2023, there was a response by November, the 29th of November to be exact, 2023. And she's saying, which I received as an extension of a letter dated the 17th of December, signed by Advocate de Kock, regarding serious allegations about Advocate Gaba. I had raised and sent to me in emails dated the 23rd and 31st of December. Now, you guys might remember this Advocate Gaba, or I remember the Advocate Gaba. It's just that I don't have the full name. But if I can recollect with my memory, Advocate Gaba, there's an Advocate Gaba in the AKA case as well. I remember when I was doing the story, I remembered this name, Advocate Gaba. So I'm not sure if it's the same Advocate Gaba or it's a different one. And he was on the case of AKA, if I'm not mistaken. So Professor Merida Haas was saying that she had raised and sent to him in emails dated the 23rd and 31st of December. You might also want to investigate allegations of impropriety against him in Gauteng. So it seems like, in my opinion, Professor Merida Haas wants Advocate Gaba to be investigated. So it continues on to say, complicating matters was that my system had designated your emails as spam, and I needed to agree for them to be released. So you may need to ensure the integrity of your email system. I have no record of having received your letter on the 29th of November 2023, but it is possible that it was sent to my post box, which was closed by the post office without having been informed, and any mail correspondence which might have been in the box was not forwarded to me. So here she's saying that she did send an email, and they are saying that on the 29th of November they sent her a response, but she did not receive that response in email. So she's saying that maybe it may have been in her spam, but then when she looked, it was not there. And also she's saying maybe they sent it via post box, by post, meaning maybe they posted the letter, but then her post box is closed. We all know the issues with the post office currently. I no longer regard them as a working facility, in my opinion. I have been disappointed too many times by the post office. I don't know if they're still working or what. It's all like this. So yeah, so she's saying that she was hoping that she would have received it via that way, via post box, but still she didn't get it. So we are going to assume that how she has said it, it means that response letter, she did not receive it. Then on the second paragraph, she wrote, I deal here only with your response of the aforementioned November 2023 letter with your sentence under allegations against NPA staff, with your comment about my allegations being factually incorrect. So they were accusing Professor Merida Haas of having factually incorrect information in the first letter that she wrote addressing the NPA director. Specifically as they relate to your failure to prosecute what is popularly known as the second docket in the Senzo Meyiwa murder case, CAS 3751 of 2019, and the malicious prosecution of Warrant Officer Mako, who opened the case, which are factually correct. How else could he have been joined in an existing prosecution in which a key witness had perjured himself as confirmed in his affidavit? Now here she's addressing that case that was against Warrant Officer Mako. We also covered it on the channel, where when it was being described, in fact, Professor Merida Haas is the one who was explaining it in the paper. She had written a whole piece on that case, where one of the witnesses eventually told the truth that Warrant Officer Makubo is not the one who had committed the offense, and that's how he got to win the case. You remember that?
No, I remember
that
that.
funny
I remember.
case.
Yes, I do remember it.
So now Professor Merida Haas, in this letter, she's addressing that as well, to say that a key witness, did come out and tell the truth, and they had perjured themselves, and there's an affidavit to show that without the complicity of the NPA. I note that you did not see any need to inquire into why a decision to prosecute Case 3751 of 2019 was overturned. So this is news to me. Case 375,
yes,
as it stands,
yes,
it was overturned. And it's so tricky because when we cover the proceedings, we are working with having to conclude what is not being said.
Yeah.
We saw with the demeanor of the judge that Case 375 is practically dead in how he was commenting in the courtroom. And we came to the conclusion that it was, but we didn't have facts. So now in this letter, Professor Merida Haas is actually putting it as a fact that Case 375 was overturned. Did you guys know that? Did we know that?
All we know from that court is that it was a case waiting for a certain
this 636
decision from 636.
I'm like, hey, well. So on the third paragraph, she goes on to say your failure to ensure an investigation into why the
And the funny thing, where was it 10 in Joburg?
Yes.
So this is big, man. This is big, like the whole of Gauteng.
Yes.
Is in a sense one can say a joke. It's a joke. We're in a joke province if you are in Gauteng. We are in a joke province where law depends. Maybe it has eyes or something like that. It feels like this hand wash this one when it comes to crime. This one wash this one, and this one continue. Like,
as for saying that it's not factually correct, what do you mean? Did you do an investigation to prove that it's factually not correct? Pella, when I tell you that this hand is brown and you tell me it's not, I must just accept that it's not.
yeah,
Why is there no investigation for you to help me understand why it's not brown? Can guys,
it's a joke.
We
It's a joke. Ultra Star, thank you very much for your generous offer. Thank you. God bless you. And anyone who's about to
thank you.
Thank you. And Lindy, God bless you guys.
Super chat.
Thank you.
Guys, we are in trouble. Angazi ukuthi niyayibona lento siyibonayo or kanjani. But let's continue covering this explosive letter. On the third paragraph, she says, your failure to ensure an investigation into why the decision to prosecute Case 375-1 of 2019 was overturned, and to proceed with that or with what is being widely perceived as a farce. For example, the prosecution currently in progress has had the most unfortunate and doubtless unforeseen by you consequences of placing the life of Warrant Officer Makubo in grave danger for reasons I shall explain. Now, she says, I did alert you under point B15 of my letter of 18th of September 2023 about serious concerns for Makubo's safety because he would be called to testify in the current matter. He was going to be testifying with Mgomezulu. Mgomezulu had called for him to come and testify in this current matter that is at the Pretoria High Court. Now that Mgomezulu has unfortunately passed on, don't know what's going to happen next. She further goes on to say, I explained below why those threats have increased significantly. Now, on the fourth paragraph, she says, first, I need to remind you that it is on record that Advocate Nzuke had confirmed to Makubo, and I understand his superior, Colonel Buthelezi, was also apprised about it, that the second docket case was strong enough for the prosecution to proceed.
So,
don't we all feel that way?
The advocate that was part of the group?
Yes, Advocate Nzuke.
Hey, wasn't it the one that we keep on asking about when Batoyi was there to make a decision?
Nzuke. I will need to check. I'm not sure.
Who was there? How many attorneys? Advocates that were there?
There were 3. It was Batoyi and 2 others.
Yeah, isn't it part of the 2?
Maybe something I have to look into, because I don't remember their names now. It's been a while, so I'll have to double check whether it's him or not. So I have to know that so that I don't forget. So Colonel Buthelezi was also apprised about it, that the second docket case was strong enough for the prosecution to proceed. Don't we all feel like 375?
It was more stronger than 636?
Yes,
yeah, we do feel like
636 right now, I'm sure you can see what's happening in court, where
yeah,
there's literally grasping to straws, and we are being made to believe something that really is. And then I hear a lot of people are puzzled as to why Kelly's not cancelled. Did they honestly expect it to be cancelled based on that? No wonder why the confidence. I see it now. It's so clear. She always knew that.
This is just a joke. We are playing.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So, however, subsequently the decision was overruled by Advocate Chauke, reportedly after alleged
This is
police.
This is Joburg.
This is the Joburg one.
Yes.
The
Joburg
decision
High Court
was overruled by Advocate Chauke, reportedly after alleged police, the then National Commissioner Sitole, and political pressure, and the investigating officer, Warrant Officer Makubo, was maliciously charged in a matter in which IPID and the NPA staff members stand accused of defeating the ends of justice. So, Advocate Chauke overruled the decision.
Yes. And he said, no, apparently, I'm not continuing with this. Let's push it to Pretoria.
And then Advocate Batoyi came in from the North Gauteng High Court. That is Pretoria.
Yes.
Wow.
Press that like button, guys. Let's press the like buttons, push it, assist. And also, please help press the like button on the previous video that we uploaded. Please assist with that. We are requesting. Thank you.
Now, Professor De Haas is saying that in her 2023 letter, the one she wrote in September initially to the head of the NPA, Sharmila Batoyi. Sharmila Batoyi was appointed in 2019, by the way. So this letter, in the initial one that she wrote, she says that she had requested that this matter be investigated. The overruling that Advocate Chauke had made in the South Gauteng High Court. Is it South Gauteng? So that is Vosloorus region, Ekurhuleni region, your box bag, that side.
Yes.
So she was asking that that matter be investigated. And she continues to say, I am also aware that Senzo Meyiwa, the brother of the deceased, had also requested that the second docket be prosecuted, and that your response was that the current case should run its course. It's not even a secret. Senzo Meyiwa has been very vocal about 375 is the docket that should be pursued in that courtroom and not the 636. In fact, they should start with 375 first. But then nobody's listening to Senzo again. So you may or may not know that 2 of those currently standing trial had previously been arrested and charged. So I don't know which 2 that she's talking about. So we're just going to have to speculate here. So the one
He's saying 2 of the people that are
currently standing trial had previously been arrested and charged. So it could be accused number 3, number 4. Number 5 was arrested in 2018 or 2019? Accused number 5.
Is he saying they've been charged pertaining this case?
No. I think she's talking about
the charges that they had.
Yes.
Yeah.
And despite various tests having been done, she's saying that there are various tests that have been done. Charges had been withdrawn as there was no evidence implicating them. This is new information.
No,
to me.
Isn't it she's talking about
Bobutelezi.
No, she's talking about the charges that were there before that were, I almost said they were created. The charges against Ndanzi and Muzi.
Oh, those
yes,
mission and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they had been charged and then withdrawn. Maybe she's referring to those charges.
Yes.
As there was no evidence implicating them. She also says, I remind you also that Mako.
So he's trying to narrate the situation of saying, this case is, in a sense, without saying it out loud, that it is made out of bogus evidence. Yes, that's, in a sense, that's what I'm picking up, in my opinion.
She says also, I remind you also that Makubo has a very distinguished history as a detective, including in his investigations leading to 6 life sentences for accused number 5 in the current case. Ntuli.
Why Makubo is a credible person? Because he is the one who previously arrested Ntuli. Why would he defend him then after that? That's a good point to raise. To say, why would someone arrest someone and that person is sentenced for what, 6 lives, and then life sentence. Then after that you come back, you defend him for a case that could see him have another life sentence maybe. Why would you do that?
Why would you exclude them from this case in particular? Why would you be so sure that they did not commit the crime? And we can all even recall Zungu's testimony about how he said that when he was in a meeting with Warrant Officer Makubo and the other generals,
there was a narrative that was drawn by this guy, Uzungu, in my opinion, that portrayed Warrant Officer Makubo as a person who seemingly interfering, as the other video is saying, with the process of bringing accused number 5 to accused number 6. I wish accused number 5 to accept this, or to even add this case. So it's like, it's a similar approach if you look at it, the one that we have seen with Mkwanas. Yeah, it's a similar approach, making Umakubo, in my opinion, this very heinous bad cop.
Yes, and he did point it, or try to put it that way, that he said he didn't believe him. He said, who sent you? Started asking such questions like, who sent you? Even as alluding that Joyce Buthelezi was even asking, do you know Kelly Kumalo? You know, do you know Colonel Buthelezi is asking him, do you know Kelly Kumalo? Do you have any relations to Kelly Kumalo? So he was really portraying this image that these 2 police officers were making me seem like I was lying, or they they were portraying me as a liar, and now, right now, with this current witness, Brigadier Kininda, he's also in the terrain of trying to frame it like they didn't conduct their investigations properly. His investigation is more solid than theirs. So it's the battle of those powers right there. And we are all going to see where it leads us to. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what anybody else side is picking or whether they choose to believe or not. It's the truth. And right now, in my opinion, I feel like the other team stood more for the truth. But that's just my opinion, because I'm like, they were asking pertinent questions that the current investigation team are not interested in asking. Like Zungu, for example, he just pops up and says, these people did this and did that. Evidence is just his story. It's just his statement. It's just his version of events. And we must believe him. We must believe him. We must take his story. His story is solid according to this investigation team. So Makubo has a very distinguished history as a detective, and apparently he's also worked in cash in transit heists. Okay, and he's had long sentences in this cash in transit heist. That alone lets you know that he's a serious detective, because detectives that work with cash in transit heists, work with hitmen, work with investigating serious crimes. Hitman, I mean, can you imagine what kind of investigation or an investigator is he, and what caliber of investigator is he that he managed to find? Never mind to get a successful conviction, but to find accused number 5 in particular. And then now he also has cash in transit heists in his portfolio. I'm sure we've all seen on social media how dangerous those ones are. And catching them as well. Finding them. And most of the times when they are found, some of them are even armed. It's dangerous. It's one of the jobs that is not for everyone. So Professor Merida Haas said, I would have expected prosecutors to appreciate his excellent work, right? In a normal world, we would all be like, took him more seriously with this kind of portfolio. Why would they risk such a reputation and trying to protect a person that they got a successful conviction for and got arrested? Like, what is wrong that Warrant Officer Makubo is not taken serious in this matter with this kind of caliber and this kind of a portfolio, even including in the second docket? So on the 5th paragraph, Professor Haas is saying, in stressing the serious threats to the life of Warrant Officer Makubo, I need to point out to you that people who knew too much about the real killers of Senzo Meyiwa and the cover-ups taking place have already died. Guys, we've been saying this. There has been so many people that have lost their lives over this case. So many. It's a long list. Some are not even known. Some were not even reported on. So she continues to say, furthermore, very serious allegations are circulating about certain police members, including in an alleged cover-up of the Meyiwa crime scene, which Makubo, and she says, I want to stress others as well know about. The following deaths are believed to be related to the need to cover up, as Makubo can confirm. Remember when Advocate Ngome Zulu, may his soul rest, he would bring up words like cover up. There was awkwardness in the court. And according to Professor the Haas, Warrant Officer Mako can confirm that there has been a cover-up. And then she continues to say, a Meyiwa neighbor was poisoned. So when we speak of a Meyiwa neighbor, we are talking KZN now, we are talking Senzo Meyiwa's home. So around the area, there was a neighbor who was poisoned, according to Professor De Haas's letter here. So there was a neighbor who was poisoned, a senior police officer, Brigadier Ndlovu, who knew about what had happened at the crime scene and had retired. Apparently, he was also poisoned, according to this letter. His wife, who had tests done, was subsequently shot dead for no apparent reason, such as a robbery. There were reports, although mainstream did not cover this. I remember the reports coming on the day that this happened to her. And there were allegations that she was at a mall and she was in her car, and that is where her life ended. Nothing was taken apparently of value, but other allegations and rumors were saying that she had collected something and she had found out the reason why her husband died. And on the same day when she got that information, she passed on. Someone took her out at a public place such as a mall. So this is scary, you guys. Those were the reports that were coming in then. So Professor De Haas here is confirming all of those reports. And of course, we didn't cover them because they were just coming in like rumors and reports. We didn't have anything concrete. Like I said here, guys, on Mzansi Reality, I can't come with those types of stories where I have nothing that I can refer to, because otherwise it would just be complicated. You know, it becomes very complicated because now it's like you're asking for trouble and you're making up stories. So as soon as I have something concrete like this letter, for example, then I can forge forward and I can work with something like this. But then back then, mainstream media was not covering Brigadier Ndlovu's wife's death. They were not talking about it. And then the reports that were coming in, I was picking it up from people's comments on social media. That's how I got this story of what had happened to her. Now, it could not be true, but I'm just saying that at the time, on the day that it actually happened, as I was reading through people's information there on what they were saying on the social media streets, those were the reports that were coming through. And the media that was covering it is, of course, independent media. It was blogs and stuff. Mainstream media, they didn't cover her death at all, and it was very scary at the time. I don't want to lie, I felt very scared. And also, another police member wanted nothing more to do with the matter, had applied for a transfer. The brakes of a police vehicle he had allocated had been cut, and he died in a car accident. So this police officer, it sounds like they were involved in the investigations of this case, and they no longer wanted anything to do with it. As soon as they announced that they no longer want anything to do with this case, the brakes of a police vehicle, work vehicle, that had been allocated to him were cut, and he passed on in a car accident. Guys, I'm just having like stress reading all of this. This is scary. This is some scary-ish. So the death of Advocate Nkome Zulu as well, she addresses it in this letter. After suddenly becoming ill I mean, we all saw how Mgomezulu's illness progressed in quite a rapid manner. And I know some of our family members, you guys did call in and you were speaking your suspicions of what was happening to him. And most of you were saying poison. Well, it's not confirmed yet what has taken Advocate Mgomezulu's life, but this is rather interesting because Professor Haas here is saying that him becoming ill so suddenly raised questions about the cause of death, which is yet to be answered, as he had been taken to a state hospital, which is not known for providing the best of health care. Fears about reasons for his death are fueled because shortly before he died, his dog had been poisoned. Now, she puts it in brackets that this poisoning of the dog that belonged to Mgomezulu was perceived as a warning to him. Kanilaba bantu banjani, guys? How are these people, Valley? Now, this to me, it absolutely scared me. The dog was a warning to him. And she also now says that he was taken to a public hospital, which is not known for providing the best healthcare, because I did even see with the comments or the statement that the family released, it had the name of the hospital, and it was a public hospital there in Vosloorus. And a lot of people were even shocked that he was taken to a public hospital. I saw the comments on social media. People were shocked about that. I don't know. But all of this, this is just too much. And she continues on to say on the 6th paragraph now, as mentioned above, I refer to the threats to Makubo's life in my earlier letter to you. Subsequently, he had made a further breakthrough with a witness who has since withdrawn in fear for his own life. So now she's telling that Mgomezulu had found a witness. Now that witness has withdrawn because they were fearing for their own lives. And it's not Mgomezulu, by the way, who made this breakthrough, is Warrant Officer Mako. But I know that perhaps Mgomezulu was going to be perhaps the one to introduce this witness in my speculation. But now a witness has withdrawn because they are fearing for their own lives. Guys, this case. So she's going on to say that because despite attempts to keep his identity a secret, information had leaked out. So the information had leaked out of this particular witness. Despite the attempts that Warrant Officer Makubo made to keep his identity a secret. What do you think? Which witness do you think is this witness? Tell me, guys, what you think. Who you think this witness is, because I have my own suspicions. It was then that senior police and Hawks members instructed him to return immediately to the DPCI, which is the Hawks, from which he had been seconded to investigate the Meyiwa case. Now, Professor Haas is saying that those of us supporting him realized it was an attempt to deploy him on some dangerous investigation in which he was likely to be killed, as it has allegedly happened with other Hawks members whose investigations implicated powerful people. Not only are witnesses now fearing for their lives and just withdrawing themselves from testifying, we have now a situation where Merida Haas or Professor Merida Haas saying that there's a technique here that is being used. So they were deploying Warrant Officer Makubo to a Hawks or DPCI department where, according to the allegation that she's making, is that they were setting him up to deploy him on some dangerous investigation where the likelihood of him being killed on that or on duty was very high. Just so perhaps they could get what they want, which is having him out of the way. Yo, guys. Yeah. A lot is going on with this case. A lot is going on with this case. I don't want to lie to you. Guri, every time I read this letter, I have to pause and think about the magnitude of danger that is being described here. So they were going to send him to the Hawks in a dangerous department where the likelihood of him being killed on duty was very high, so that when it eventually happens, it'd be like, okay, what was meant to be was meant to be. He died on duty.
Sure.
Now that's
another level. That's another level. That's how far.
Since he had initially been deployed to the Meyiwa investigation by then, National Commissioner Sithole, direct approaches were made to the current Commissioner General Masemola to intervene on his behalf. It is known that Masemola followed up with the police members who had put him on terms to return to the Hawks. And that they, or at least the senior Hawks investigator, the other is instrumental in driving the current Meyiwa case, denied having done so. So they're saying here that between the two national commissioners, one who was suspected to be the one who deployed the Warrant Officer Makubo to this dangerous department in the Hawks so that he can be set up to eventually die on duty, is denying that they had anything to do with that deployment. So a threat assessment was done by CIS headquarters, but Makubo has never received feedback about it. Warrant Officer Makubo, now on the 7th paragraph, had been working closely with defense attorney Advocate Mgomezu, and his evidence had been crucial in exposing lying testimony, for example, relating to supposed cell phone calls. It is believed that threats against him are escalating because he will be called again to give evidence for the defense now that the trial, you agreed, should proceed is resuming.
Perhaps then that then I think seal our feeling that accused number 2 should have been allowed to get a different new lawyer who was going to proceed on the same line as Mgomezul, because without saying it in many ways, the two people that were big now in this case currently, it was then Mgomezulu and Warrant Officer Makubo.
Yes.
The threats are against those ones from this letter, from what we are hearing in this letter. We have not heard anything from other advocates, which then makes me even worry more, because then Ushuguti people who were a problem in this case are these two people. Yes. Now that begs the question, Uguti, how and what line is Mnisi gonna advise accused number 1? You know, is he gonna go through the same process that Mgomez was going through, or is gonna change everything, you know, and decide to consult in his own way? Let's press that like button, guys. Let's reach this 200 likes. Yeah, so it's even more worrying. If you think about it, it's even more worrying. And I don't know, I feel like this case is doomed. You know, the source in it is slowly taken away.
No.
We were anticipating Ngomezulu. Now, are we eagerly waiting for Mnisi? As we were waiting for Ngomezulu.
I personally know.
Yeah, but it's... Yeah.
Respectfully, of course. Not to say that Mnisi is not good. No. It's just that the way things are happening and reading the list of all these people that have passed on, I don't even know if it's worth it anymore. And I'm not sure if you take on 2 clients like Mnisi has done, I don't know. I just feel defeated. Because now my hope was on Ngomezulu. I have to tell the truth.
And then now hearing that he was even working close with Mako, then that tells you why maybe he would be perceived as threat. If Mako was perceived as threat, then Ngomezulu, if he was working with, which begs the question as to what was the other defense doing? You know, doesn't it? They should all be looked at as a threat because they are working with Mako.
All of them should be threats. But
why was it one person who maybe, according to this letter, is portrayed as this person or was looked at as a threat to this 636?
Sure.
It's worrying, to say the least. It is worrying. Seems as if others then are punching and others are holding back. You know, that shy, so supporter type of vibe. You know, that's how it feels like. If you try to analyze this letter, it feels like Ngomezulu was that kind of shy. And then everyone else was taking a back seat. Yeah, well, yes, we see people in court fighting, and I mean, we all have our favorites. But this letter only confirms the feeling that we had about Ngomezulu when everyone was saying, hey, so and so is doing well, everyone. Now, it looks like even the witnesses that were going to be called, most of them were with Ngomezulu.
Yes. So now it will be very interesting to see.
But just reading this Haas letter, it confirms few things for me that I was feeling, you know, confirms few things that I was feeling. I know when we watch it, we're like, yeah, you know, today Ubanshai, but I would say this way. Soldiers, if you have soldiers that are on the battlefield, exactly where the war is at, they pass away, and there are soldiers who come back to take that glory. And they get promotions, they get all these other things. But the real fighters, they remain on the scene. That's how I'm feeling like now. Uti, it seems as if Vele Ngomezulu was the battlefield soldier.
Yeah.
He was there. The dust, the bullets, and everything that is there in that war. The blood. He was smelling it. You know, that's how it feels.
Very close.
Very close to the enemy. And then others, perhaps are those ones, what we call commanders and all that, who come back and they say, hey, you commanded a proper... It is it is hopeless for me.
Now, on the 8th paragraph, she says that on the night of the 9th of January, Makubo's home came under attack. It was more than just a simple break-in attempt. The front door gate was smashed open, and then the front door was completely demolished. The insurance assessor said that he had never seen a case like that. Makubo was not at home, but his young adult son heard the noise and pressed the panic button. That is probably what saved his son's life. By the time the police arrived, the three men who had been seen driving past before entering the yard in a Toyota Corolla had driven away. If it was simply theft, they would not have driven a sedan car for looted goods. So there was nothing that was taken. They smashed the front gate, they demolished the front door, and they took nothing. His son, Warrant Officer Makubo's son, pressed the panic button, and Professor De Haas is saying if he didn't do that, he'd probably not be amongst the living. 3 men. They took nothing. Guys, are we in a mafia state? Why is it this thing is like I'm reading a script of a movie? This is scary. And on the 9th paragraph, she says they may have broken in with the intent of killing Makubo and or stealing whatever documentation about the Meyiwa matter they could lay their hands on. Makubo has sensibly made various copies of all relevant documentation and left these copies in other safe hands, not in his home. So in summary, in what has become glaringly obvious in an attempt to cover up for the real killers of Senzo Meyiwa, for reasons which are not unknown, people have died and the lives of others are at risk. One of our best detectives is in very serious danger, especially when he has to go to court to give evidence. And those of us who work closely with him believe that attempts to stop him doing that will continue. It is.
Look, guys, we don't worry about us. We are not breaking anything. We are not breaking stories.
No.
We're not investigating anyone.
We're working with public.
We are not whistleblowing.
No.
We're just taking information that is on the public platform.
Yes.
So we understand, but for now, let's hold up, because our approach is such that we are on the public platform. That's why we're always saying,
bring us public information.
Public information.
We don't do exclusives.
No exclusives. So, once you start talking about these things like this, you are inviting them. You're creating a psycho sitting somewhere who's going to now come and do certain things. So, I understand, but let us not entertain such,
It's just
public. You can get this letter anywhere.
Yes,
there.
Trisha Mashale published it on her social media.
Yes.
That's why we always give you the sources. So that
we
you
are
go
not
and look
investigators. We are not whistleblowers. So, hold up.
So yes, she's saying that it is most unfortunate that you, as National Director of Public Prosecutions, this is addressing Sharmila Batoyi, felt it was not necessary to investigate why the decision to prosecute the second docket had been overturned and to allow this current prosecution to proceed. The unfortunate perception that the NDPP does not fulfill its constitutional responsibility to act without fear or favor thus persists because no credible reasons have been given for not responding to case 375-1 of 2019. Presumably at this stage, when the focus will fall on the defense, there is nothing you can now do to rectify what appears to have been a very serious error in judgment, the consequences of which you would not have foreseen, but one which, because there is clearly a continuing desperate attempt to cover for the real killers, may lead to further deaths, especially that of Warrant Officer Mako. As I shall point out further to the Minister of Police, as evidenced by deaths of his colleagues, the biggest threats to his life unfortunately emanate from within the SAPS itself. And that's the end of that letter. So it's a lot going on, and we will pray for Warrant Officer Mako's safety.
And I would have liked to continue with it, but I'm going to close it here.
Okay.
For certain, I just have to close it here and thank everyone who was here. And again, this letter is available on all the public platforms. There's nothing new about it. So,
so you don't want to answer any questions or nothing?
No.
Okay. Okay, guys, that's it. Mr. Anonymous, read our fellow.
Yes, just special thanks to these people who were here with us. Tozisi Langa, thank you very much. Gloria Berger, thank you very much. Chugu Anna, thank you. You were here. Nat, thank you. You were here. Let's press the like button, guys, as we continue. Tipuo, our member, thank you for being with us. Bongi Mohapi, thank you. Samuel Mungalo, between the two. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'll get it right next time if I missed it. Ausebe, yeah? Nzonzi, thank you very much. Dokas Shabalala, thank you. Tapiwa, thank you very much. We had Swain, thank you very much. Sizwe, 18, our member. Thank you very much. Ndazi.
18, does it mean 18 months?
Ndazi, thank you very much. Malachi, Ioannis, thank you very much. Bongi, where I've mentioned you, I think. Pinkin Love, thank you. Shanjiwe Sibanda, thank you. Yeah, seems as if we are repeating. And Ultra Star, thank you. Lana Lento, thank you. K. Bigwayo, thank you. Tandi Mtembu, thank you. Bongmusa Mangele, Tuyazi, thank you. Mavi, thank you. Z, thank you. Spiwe, Yingwane, thank you. Nelsiwe, Lamola, thank you. Lindiwe Bembe, thank you, and thank you again for your generous gift. Nicholas, thank you. Mamelo Skunana, thank you. Ramadubeja, thank you. WS, our member, thank you. Uncle Nels, thank you. Yeah.
I didn't do properly.
Sipo Mbata, thank you. Blessing Mabena, thank you.
Still, I'm too low, but it's fine. I'll try again.
You are too low. Let's change the position.
The
Yeah, Davinso Mtaung, thank you. Lindiwe, thank you again, Lindiwe. Njomane 83, thank you very much. You are probably looking at the wrong one, and then you move your hand.
I do. Yay! That's what I wanted to show you guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nzansi Tabo, thank you. Sibandas Katele, Thank you. Beltangwenya. Thank you. Yeah. Chadi. Nchadi. Molwatwa. Ntwa. Oh, mulantwa. Oh, mulanto. Molwantwa. Hey, ngizongile umulimi. Sne. Sibi. Ntwa. Impi.
Asimulantwa.
Oh, ulwimpi. Sne. Sibiya. Thank you. Kanyile Xaba. Kanyile Xaba. Those are two surnames, isn't it? Yeah. Stelo Mloyi. Thank you. Yes. Bafowethu sibonga kakhulu. We appreciate you. And I see there was others. Cecilia. Thank you. Yeah. Bafowethu mina I'm done. I think kancane siyabuya. We will come back and we hope that tomorrow or today we'll be here. Yes, for more details about this, we got it from the subscriber who got it from Mam Patricia Mashal in that Facebook page of hers. This is where we got this. We are not coming with exclusives. Kuning. Joe's Bila, thank you. Yeah, Kuning. It's even more scary as people are coming out and saying a lot of things. I believe in a certain. You attract what you say, what you pronounce most of the time. So that's why I am against certain things being pronounced, being said, because you are creating something that is not there. Maybe that is not even being thought about.
Yeah.
You've never heard us talking about, hey, someone was.
No, but we have to speak, guys.
It's not even about speaking. I'm just saying, let us not do it, because it makes even the show be so doomed. Because now now I had to stop it. It's done.
Okay, guys.
Thank you. Bye from us. Please press that like button, and we'll see you on the next one.